Stayed in. Hey, everybody. That was a hard cut. Welcome to the SpaceShip One WholEarth underground art city somewhere and nowhere, USA. Art city, USA, somewhere and nowhere. We are somewhere and everywhere. I mean, the one world, the one whole earth is where we find ourselves today. And we're playing the game. And we're kicking it into a new aspect of this game because remember that we're living on a spaceship. It's called Earth. We got this thing called Moon, and now we're finding out more and more that that might be just inhabited by all kinds of people and different derivations of humanoid, extraterrestrial, whatevers. If we do a simple math equation of 13,000 year cycles and we just go back a million years, there's a good chance we've been playing the game at least 700 times. Can you figure? Can you just imagine that you've been playing this? And you're just figuring it out now. What do you think, Renee? Are you winning? You feel like you're in the game?
Yeah, it's like 7,300 times, I think, something like that.
Was it 73 in a million years? 76 times? I think if you do the math.
76. I think it was 76. That's right.
No, let's do the math. I think it might be 760.
Either way, it's a lot of rotations. I'll tell you
76. Well, that's in a million times. That's in a million years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just in the last million years. And so in the million years, and then we think that all this stuff came about, but we've been inhabiting stuff that's already been here before. The plane of Giza was designed and built by some other thing. And then it was always, the question is, was it built all at the same time? The question is, was it built in segments? One thought was that the prototype, of course, was the smooth-sided pyramids that what we're looking at right now. I mean, this is the hardest thing to build. No one even on this. Well, we can do it. We can polish concrete with a lot of machinery. We can bring you slabs. You can get it pretty close. Okay, I think we could do it. I mean, if you look at the Luxor in Las Vegas, but that's just a small, teeny tiny footprint of what this thing really was, what it really is and the real size of it. That's how big it is. It's like Grand Canyon size. But then I think that it starts with this, and then the step pyramids come up to be kind of like what we could do as we became rulers of that kingdom, because obviously there was the prototype. You got to kind of match that. So the step pyramids are like an attempt to get to the closeness, and then the one that goes off a little bit, again, it's almost impossible. It's like just another folly of men to try to replicate this kind of technique and so forth. So anyway, as we're moving forward now, the goal, so where are we in galactic time? So isn't it funny that the Mayan calendar found in at the Yucatan was referencing a 13,000 year cycle? Isn't that interesting? Oh, look at that. See, that's exactly the footprint of Giza and the footprint of the one in Mexico. Now, the one in Mexico, again, is built with a much smaller stone, and these stones are not impossible for human beings of our size to build and create. The ones that are at Giza are absolutely almost impossible for people of our size to have created those. It would be something if someone else from a larger size and a different time came in and made that and then left it. Now, the Pyramid of Giza, these are in the most basic form. These are the legacy in stone. So these are hermetically sealed in architecture. This is the legacy. Now, building in stone is something that's going to last. Now, if you are aware that you're coming to Earth and you're going to be leaving a legacy for the next iteration of your kind, you would build something out of stone that could get baked by a supernova, that could withstand And when your people are ready, they can come back and re-inhabit the areas that you left for them. That, I believe, is the real motive behind many of this architecture, is to remind us to where to come back to. That we know. The thing is, if you know that the world is going to be going extinct every 13,000 years, and you build for that occasion, then what is it going to look like? Well, a pyramid is probably one of the most strongest, well, it's the strongest shape next to a circle. But an earthly thing now, okay, you know that the pyramid is a diamond. It's got as above, so below. So there's something underneath. There's chambers underneath the pyramid that we don't even know about. Interesting. So now, well, it would be pretty simple to see that, like, the first prototype is Egypt. Then they maybe come over to Mesoamerica and perfect it with this type of stone. Then go back to Egypt and perfect and come up with I mean, it's back and forth and back, you see? And then how many times we've had this conversation about where this all came from and how marvelous. These heads now these are the Olmec heads. And it's only because I live at Art City that I know that we play a game called the Thobola that includes throwing round balls, and it's a kind of it's a bocce ball game. And I think, well, see, these people these are ball players. You see his helmet there. These are people who played ball in the courts that they were obsessed with. But they all played ball with other different ways, running kinds of things. Throwing and running was a really big thing. Kicking the ball as far as you can and then chasing it. And whoever got the ball first could kick it farther again. And that would be the consumption of an entire city. I mean, these are running people. These people were on bipedal and mastered bipedality in such a way that they could get a message from one side, from Mexico City all the way down to the bottom in just a few weeks, probably, or maybe less than a week. However fast running these marathoners. I mean, we do marathons now for sport, but they did marathons in those days for everything. Everybody was a runner at high altitude too, nonetheless. So think about that. Now, today's Mayan calendar reflects the galactic time of 13.0.11.14.2. So that's the day, and that's the week, and that's the month, and that's the year, and that's the long count. Okay, so we have a long count going on here, right? See, it's 140, it's crazy times. But now we're like transform again. We just raised our consciousness into the consciousness of the ancient Mayan people. What I did on 12/21/21, that was supposed to be the end of the world. Remember that? I went ahead and stayed inside a cave with the Book of Zoltan. And somehow was able to divine. He literally came to me in a vision and said, and that the double helix started to rise off the page. And I realized I was onto something here. This is the thing. I mean, this is the cosmic motion going on, the zip and spin. This is the thing. We're on a moving thing going around the sun, going around the center of the galaxy at breakneck speed. We can't even imagine. All right. But the vision I have is the one that I was taking, what I took from R. Bucky Fuller, R. Buckminster Fuller, the year of R. Bucky. R. Buckminster Fuller. And that is, what comes down to, there's plenty for everyone here on Spaceship Earth. If we run this planet like a spaceship. So now he comes from a naval background. And you see how you run ships, you run warships, you run these ships. And this is the kind of the way that we look. If we look at this planet with that type of what's the word I'm looking for? That kind of being careful with everything, making sure with that kind of detail is what I'm talking about. When we actually get in there and start just behaving as though we're on a ship. But here's more importantly now what's going on is not only we're on a ship, but we're on a ship in a spiritual body. With a spiritual mind in it's not a spiritual body, it's a three-dimensional body. It's a meat sack that includes this mind that now is just waking up to the fact that we're on a spaceship. And I'm calling it One Whole Earth to help you keep it simple. And we need 5 things. We need housing, we need water, we need food, we need energy, and we need something to do. Because you can't, well, see, now that's a good long question. Something to do. What is something to do? It's a marijuana cigarette, so just cool your jets over there. Turns out that we have enough, the marijuana receptors in our brains are lined up for that. So I'm just kind of enhancing one thing that I really like about my own ability to feel good. It's really weird. Marijuana, crazy. So you play the whole earth game and you are in the game of trust and sharing. You got to trust that you're on a spaceship and you need 5 things. Then you got to share those 5 things with other people. And if you can do that, you're kind of in the winning mode, right? You can share those 5 things and you're in. And then, what happens there is what's going to happen next. Now, this is where most people, fall short and they just cannot think of the big idea. So that's what we're here to do, is help bring the big idea back to the regular folks. So we do this by looking at what other people thought was a big idea. So Bucky Fuller thought that the spaceship Earth was a big idea. I think that's a pretty good idea, and then it's all connected through geometry, which is a super big idea. Geometry is the law of the universe. It's not only the law of the universe, but it's keeping this galaxy together. In what a way. It keeps things going on. I mean, somebody's messing with this kind of thing. When you get a situation like, the moon, it's a really weird, strange object. It's practically geodesic. Made from basalt, which is a super hard volcanic rock that actually rings like a bell. That's what it's made of. And so it's hollowed out from the inside and creating this huge, massive structure. And that's how you might be able to survive a supernova and then get people, back on the planet as quickly as possible. So if there might be, there's probably definitely star seeds. Okay, so we're all part of the star seeds. Obviously, there's plenty of us to let go of most people. If they just, only need the seed bank, seeds. So remember what we're here to do. What's one of our favorite things to say? I mean, hey, what's our favorite thing to say?
Seed what happens next. We'll
see what happens next. Oh my gosh, young girl, you get a gold star today. Seed what happens next, because doesn't that make sense that we're seeds? Okay, it's just part of the thing. So they're gonna, we don't die. We just get a haircut. It's like getting a haircut. No death. That's the big joke of it. There's just nothing about death. So they create that in order to make the game more. I think it's because it makes the game more exciting if we think that we're on the brink of death every single day. But you see, that's what these guys were playing in this game. This game is on the brink of death. The winner is trying to get sacrificed. What the hell is that about? Who is motivated to get killed? Got to be a whole different way of thinking if your motivation is to go and find the flowery death at the top of the monument, Anyway, that takes a lot of, you can't even imagine that kind of, isn't that the same Christ consciousness though? Was that the same attitude? So imagine, the way that Jesus Christ handled his time. You remember this whole story? They're talking about this more now. So you got a bunch of friends, you tell them to keep an eye on things, and they fall asleep, and they still arrest you anyway, and you got to go and forgive all those fuckers for doing that. Okay. And then when you're up against it, you just like go about it as if you're not afraid of death. Pretty much that's the Jesus story. He just like danced up to the cross, got in there, agonized, and died, and then forgave us for our sins. Give me a break. Okay, but that's pretty much, I don't know. Seems like a weird ritual of things. Wow, wouldn't that be something? Finally, Brandon Reagan gets me back. So, that's just one idea. One guy, driving a spaceship Earth called Enterprise, One WholEarth, and I've used up about 16 minutes of your time. And I want to know, what do you think, Renee? Where do you think we want to go with this conversation now?
Can you talk a little bit more about the Mayan calendar, and for people who aren't aware of how advanced these ancient civilizations were? Like, a lot of people think that we're the advanced civilization. They don't understand the cyclical nature of things. They don't know that the ancients understood things. We have the Mayan calendar thing here, this graphic that I'm going to put up in a second. But can you talk about like the numbers and how advanced they were and what it all means?
Well, so based on what we're talking about. So yeah, I mean, let's go back and do that. Did you do the math again on that thing? Okay, I'm going to do 1 million divided by 13,000. Let's see. I want to see the number again. But okay, that's 1 million. That's like a short amount of geologic time. I mean, a million years ain't nothing for a rock. Clear. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 divided by 13, 1, 2, 3 equals, 76 times. There you go. You're so smart. Well, 76 per million, that's pretty good. I mean, do you know the difference between, when you're not on the planet, do you even have time? I mean, fifth dimension is such that,
Yeah.
time is just a construct, right?
Time is just a social construct. They've proven that. Scientists talk about that. Physicists talk about that. It's actually true. Time is relative. Obviously, we know that because you and I are on two different coasts right now. We have a very different reality of time. But that's just true. They have different clocks. There's atomic clocks. There's all different types of clocks, and if you travel fast, we know this. What happens when you travel the speed of light?
Okay, but wait. Okay, you're so smart. You go running off. I love that about you. I gotta plug it back in.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course. It's because you're so smart and you go running off. But here's the thing: is that time has there's no substance. It's the fourth dimension, but this is one of the debates we had up at Boulder Garden. Is you got 3 dimension is where we are now, and then you got 5th dimension is where we're going. But the 4th dimension is just a time. It's a construct. It says it. Okay, so Thoth said it like this. He says, time. Okay, wait a second. Time has nothing, but everything is affected by time. Time has no value, but everything is valued by time. Like, time is the boss, but it doesn't. You can't put your finger on time. There's no substance. It's got to be in your head. Like, it started. Like, it's always been time. Like, how old is time? That's when you start peeling into like this imaginary thing. Do you know what I mean?
Right, I do. And I think about time all the time. I think about the subjective nature of it. I think about how it acts on us, right? I talk about it all the time. I think about it all the time, in a scientific way, in a philosophic way, in a theologic way. What does time actually mean? And to your end, when you're talking about death, death isn't real. So, when you're thinking about time, you're also thinking about, okay, I only have an allotted amount of time, but that's not really true because you can't kill energy. Energy keeps going on. So, like, do you think that you're going to actually die? You, not your body, but like you? Do you feel that you're going to stop
But there's
existing?
only one way. There's only one way, and it only goes forward. And if 7 wasn't better than 5, because 7, 8, 9.
That's true.
I mean, it's obviously when we get to 7, we're like, fuck, this is way better than 5. I mean, holy shit, this is way, because we oscillate between 3 and 5 because we don't want to give up the fun about coming to Earth every once in a while, like 79 times, in this million years. And that is, okay, so 13,000 years. Okay, so 79, 13,000 is 79 times we played the game, at least in a million years. Okay, how many times we build the pyramid? Just looks like once. The question, was it ever cased in stone, or was it left undone? Was it left undone on purpose? All these are new questions coming into philosophy, and based on this geometry. And I'd like to bring up the, Edward. I mean, I'd always like to go back and cite my sources, because so many times in this kind of trade, people like to take ownership of good ideas, like they own the thing. But Robert Edward Grant is who I want to talk about for a second, because he's, basically proved all this up in scientific mathematics and geometry. So everything we talk about can also be seen in the flower of life. It can also be seen, because the next number in the thing, in the sequence, of course, is 6. But 6 doesn't really have a place in any kind of reality that we know of either. Like a 6th dimension is always seemed like, some kind of like a telepathic dimension, right? In the 6th dimension. Isn't that the 6th dimension?
I think so. I'm looking up Robert Edward Grant right now.
Oh yeah, bring Robert in, because he is the codex guy. He's gone into the pyramids and then connected that to Da Vinci, and he's connected that to Napoleon, of course. But then connected that to Shakespeare, and that whole the whole root, like the whole conspiracy of Shakespeare, is really interesting too. Whether there's one man who was a poorly educated guy who became that, or was it a cabal of top writers for, in the court of Queen Elizabeth, coming together based on esoteric meanings, right? I mean, this shit's pretty heavy. So that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of guys coming through Queen Elizabeth's court with a bunch of esoteric meanings underneath, all explaining what they're learning about at the Pyramid of Giza. Right? Are you with me? Oh,
Yep,
you're looking
I'm
for
with
stuff.
I'm with you, and I'm listening, and I'm looking up, Robert Edward Grant. He had a TED Talk, but he's talking
Yeah.
about all kinds of stuff, like we're in a simulation. So when you talk about time,
Here, let me bring him in. Okay.
yeah. So talk
Edward.
a little bit
Okay.
about him,
Well,
because
at time. Okay. So here's that guy. Well, he's also with this other cat. They're all in it. So, okay. So, hidden secrets of the universe, decoding the hidden secrets of the universe. I mean, well, that's another one. So about him, let's just go to that one. I mean, this guy's a brilliant dude. So let's do that. Boom, pop, and then I'm gonna just put this on your. I'm gonna send this to you, email or text it, and you can look him up. Oh, there it is. Pop.
yeah, send it my way. Send it my way. Thank you.
Okay. So, that's the thing. But I mean, so we go basically, this is the thing about 6, is that it gets really weird, because 6 is Metatron, and Metatron is like another type of Thothian influence on our planet. These guys, the Assyrians and all of the Anunnaki and the people who wrote in cuneiform came into our solar system from outside the solar system, and they tell the story all about it, you see. And they see, because at the top of Saturn is a 6-sided shape. It's the Metatron shape, a 6-sided hexagon. And the only way you can see that is coming in from outside of our solar system. Okay? So there's no way anybody here in mythology could ever know that, except being told by someone who'd seen it. That's interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
now when you go with Metatron's cube, that becomes the whole flower of life. That's the flower of life thing that you see everywhere, in every it's like flower of life, flower of life, flower of life, flower of life is probably the most common symbol you'll find everywhere on the planet. And that's pretty much a nod, a wink and a nod to the fact that, we're not alone. Okay. So then when you actually do the geometry, which he's done, he's got books on it, and he's been into finding the new mathematics to like this Euler number, and a little bit like it's a weird 1.75 number that comes, which is what I was being told in the cave with Zoltan, is that there's a wiggle room aspect to real math that allows things to sprout. And when you go in my mathematics is simple because it's five things equal one thing. Five things are the seed. Then when you add love, they move into what I think they go right past into the 8. Okay. And the 8 is like something it's like going on infinity, but there's not infinity. It's the weirdest thing. Like we have a boomerang infinity. And this is the weirdest thing, is that everything in the way our breath works, right? Remember the mathematics? Can you put this up on the screen? 0 plus 1 plus 1 equals 2 plus 1 equals 3 plus 2 equals 5.
Okay, but hold on. All right, start again. Okay, 0 plus.
No, just do this. Just do the real numbers. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Mm-hmm.
8, 8, 8.
Mm-hmm.
5, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0.
All right, here we go.
Now, what is that? What is that? What is this number? And it seems obvious to me, but I can't imagine how everybody hasn't seen this. Like just me. I'm the only one. 888. Yeah. You see that 8 in the middle is like the weirdest thing. It flips. And it flips. And it turns into a negative thing. It goes all the way to infinity, and then it turns and goes into infinity the other way. And that's the mathematics of life and breath right there. That's the math of breath. So anyway, that continues on and on and on and on and on and on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever until it just ends, right? And that's just like the number of the Siddhartha. Do you remember Siddhartha?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so he gets to be so good at meditating. Remember this? When he's with the elders. This is when he knows he's badass. He gets to be so good he can imagine a whole carcass dying and decaying and going to dust before he wakes up.
Yeah.
It takes him a little while to do that. I think he goes for
That's
a couple of weeks of meditation, right, to experience that type of thing. But that's his big dream, and that just gave you the number of that dream. What? Oh. Tell me I'm wrong in the comment section below. Go right in there and tell me I'm wrong.
If you disagree, let us know. Let us know. You don't have to agree with everything.
That's my big thing. Okay, my big contribution, right, into the echo chamber of nowhere. He's just out there. So boom, boom, boom. So that's that's the breath. And now we're moving on this thing. Now, okay, but look at that. Do you see the simplicity of that beautiful little number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guess what? It applies to everything in the universe.
Living or all things?
All things.
Wow.
I mean, the question is, how long does that 8 last? I mean, for a rock, the 8 can be a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, okay, here, which wins, the water or the rock?
The water.
What?
Yeah, isn't that weird? It's kind of like the Bruce Lee thing, right?
the softest thing always wins. So 8 is always going to win. So I mean, you can't, like, you got to be, you have to have a breath and you have to release the breath. You have to have a breath. You have to release the breath. So does our sun. So does our galaxy, though. This is the thing. So we're part of this whole thing, right? So a galaxy in a solar system, in a creator that loves us, like, we're the greatest thing that creator could have ever done, is a human being with a mind. I mean, it's a fucking hell of a trick, right? To get somebody like us actually, and then talking to each other. That's like ridiculous.
Wow. All right, let's bring up the pyramid, the Mayans. Let's do all that again. Let's get a little.
Well, I mean, go to the next. Okay, this is Emerald Tablet. If you want to take your time, go back to my YouTube channel and listen to Emerald Tablet 9. Let's go to Emerald Tablet 8 and see what happens. Let's go to Emerald Tablet 1. Let's go back to 1, because I'll show you where it starts. Okay, I mean, why do we start the book at the end of the book? Because we want to talk about Mayan culture. But see, that's Zoltan. He was an actual astronaut. They were launching people from here. You see. Do you know the Puma Punko is a launching? It's a whole receptacle for a place. It's designed to accept rocketry.
Wow. So what years are we talking about? We're talking about ancient civilizations.
See, this is the hardest. The thing about it, stone workers know this all throughout the galaxy. And they know it here at Art City. That's why I know it to be true. Okay. I study it right here. Stone monuments last a long time. That's the fun of it. Okay. There's no reason. I mean, obviously, Ramon's not building his thing for any kind of money or riches. But that shit will be around for a while, man. It'll be wherever dumpster ends up in, or whatever headstone, whatever. Whoever falls in love with it enough to give him money for it, or take it to his house and adopt it. I mean, it really takes a lot to move a stone, and eesh. It's not for me. That's not that's I can't handle that. See how the pyramid works underneath too?
Right. So as above, so below, right? So
there is understanding, whether it's actually there or not. Okay, there is an understanding of the magnetic charge that a cone shape would, and that's what this is about. And then I show you Wardenclyffe, which is, basically Nikola Tesla was onto the same thing. Now, had we gone the Nikola Tesla route, we would have been way more prepared right now to weather the storms that are coming. Now, these people, the people who created that Giza Plateau, they may have been able to weather a few of the solar storms that are coming, right? Because that's about as much stone as you're going to need to keep yourself safe from that type of situation, don't you think?
So so ancient peoples were readying. This is like an underground, nowadays they have the doomsday preppers, the bunker people who are doing that.
Don't even laugh about that. There is
right.
There's like national, international, and high level bunkering happening.
Yep.
I mean, everybody knows you got to get underwater, like oceans, and Antarctica, of course, was always, and that's where they came in last time. Now they're like getting, spaceships to emerge from that place and all that shit. But what's happening is, I was going to send you this thing. I hate to tell you, this is really the bad news. Is with Suspicious Observer. You want to go to him by yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Suspicious Observer yesterday released some information about the polar ice caps slowing and causing havoc in the ocean of the of the Gulf Stream, in which we knew was going to happen. I mean, that's what I was trying to get ahead of in my dream with Spaceship Earth, because if we could control the flow of water through convection currents and things, we can. But it's too late. It's like, we're obviously not. That's not what's going on here. There's a bigger story. But today's story, yes, is about basically the fact that we are more likely to move into a quick ice age sooner than almost anything else. We have a triple threat bearing down on us. A triple threat. So what do you think? What do you think the odds are that we actually get hit by one of those in our lifetime?
So I found the video you're talking about.
Yeah. That's
I'm
only
pretty
3
sure
minutes.
this-
You want to share with our group? Let's share with our audience.
Yeah, let me get this queued, because this is
it's
interesting.
it's Friday, first Friday, the
I
second.
haven't seen it yet.
Let's comment on it. Is your first time? Take a look at
So
this.
this
3
is my
minutes.
first
3
time.
minutes,
Let's see.
and we will talk about it later, right afterward.
All right, make sure that this is the right one, but I think this is it. One he just posted 14 hours ago.
Just posted about 3.5 minutes. Yep.
Good morning, folks. We're going to be looking at a tropical threat, solar cycle progression, a cosmological mystery, and a critical new project coming out of Japan. We also have relevant space weather to review, so let's start there and actually jump back to yesterday morning. Flare event will be on the right side. SDO eclipse by Earth blocked this from view yesterday, but GOES caught it. The CME was a very wide burst event, with peripheral components on the outskirts of the eruption that are headed for Earth. NOAA's endless spiral shows that blast here. Impact is expected later tomorrow, but could arrive as late as Sunday. While we wait for that arrival, which is forecast to produce geomagnetic storm conditions, we've had several more flares, and we expect that to continue. The departing active region gave another departing goodbye this morning, and we have several incoming active regions worth noting and monitoring in the days ahead. Large complex is rotating out of view to the right, while new spots are incoming from the left. More flares and CMEs are likely over the next several days. Speaking of sunspots, how about we check in on the solar cycle so far? That's sunspot number up top, solar radio flux on the bottom. The July data point is now updated and shown on the charts, and it's a new peak once again. This one rivals sunspot cycle 23. We've now solidly left the last sunspot cycle, cycle 24, in the dust. Solar maximum still peaking. Up next, our focus is drawn to the Northeast Caribbean, where tropical storm conditions are ripening and formation is expected within this low into a significant storm in the days ahead. All track forecasts have it curling up into warm Gulf waters and then crossing Florida. We will have eyes on this as the situation develops. The first science article today hits 6 newly discovered spiral galaxies lacking dark matter. This adds to the several others they have discovered in the past, but for the first time, the scientists are actually questioning the universal paradigm of dark matter at galactic scales here. Progress in the right direction. And last but not least, folks, a university project is seeking to get better measurements of Earth's magnetic field. The CubeSat swarm is aiming to measure the strength of Earth's magnetic field with unprecedented accuracy. Fingers crossed for that, as this is the key data point we're not getting from the official sources in relation to the weakening process of the ongoing excursion. Best of luck to the team. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow.
All right. Well, very good. So that wasn't the one I was thinking about.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. There we go. It's the one, the day before. Just the one. But what we've known for a long time is that when we get too much fresh water in the Gulf Stream, it starts to slow things down. And that's why these storms are intensifying and things are getting worse. We have also a weakening magnetic pole, which is what he was talking about. And we want to start getting that onto the Dymaxion map. If we can get a grant from the Buckminster Fuller Institute to keep track, that will pay your time to make that happen. I will give you 80% of whatever we get for that. Okay? So what we want to do is apply real-time data. And if you could, and if you could teach some kids, that'd be great. If you could bring some people on to work with you and build a staff.
Yeah.
It'd be
Oh,
a
yeah.
super important thing. If we could map the sun in Dymaxion map, that would be really cool too.
Right now, tell me if this is the one. Is this the one from August 1? Solar storm, ocean collapsing, deep space.
Yes,
From
ocean collapsing, deep space. Can you I mean, we got
okay,
time.
this is
Is everybody
let's
cool? Is everybody cool? Are
yeah,
you
let's
cool?
do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do
Okay,
it.
because you know
All
what?
right.
And then here's what's going to happen, folks. If you guys stay long enough, it'll turn into First Friday, and we'll start, busting out because it's always like last minute. People just show up whenever they get here.
That's
And then the
totally
guy
good.
that
Okay,
left
well,
his couch
do
here
we
for
have
2 weeks doesn't like
3
anybody want to sit on it. What?
well, if we have 3 minutes, we can play this one. This would be great.
Yeah, no, we got 3
All
minutes.
right.
This is good. This is really important that we catch up on
Okay, I
this. This
really
is
want to
the
make
kind of
sure
stuff
we watch the
look,
right
I
one.
just want to stop everybody and say when I got to UCSB, we were reading out like what happens in a nuclear Cold War, how fast things go down fast. Okay. And then we were also talking about this particular issue. This is back from the 80s. Okay. Like we had not one shred of attention placed on the actual while people were making money. And the people who are supposedly our government, of the people, by the people, were just fucking with us the entire time. And the question is, are they still? So after this, we'll come back and talk about it.
Today, we're getting a preview of the Roman Space Telescope, seeing yet another confirmation of the merit of pre-earthquake electromagnetic anomalies, and we have yet another confirmation that the AMOC is about to collapse. We're starting with the last 24 hours on our star, and we find that solar flares have continued. Several more solar flares have erupted, a few more CMEs as well. Those don't appear to be aimed at Earth. We took 2 more of the minor CME impacts over the last 24 hours we had been expecting, and they have kept geomagnetic unrest alive. Minor solar storm conditions have been active for a good portion of the last 18 hours or so. 1 more CME expected today. The solar flaring you see here has been reaching high M-class range with at least 6 more since yesterday. It's been a bonanza of solar flaring here, but luckily they have not thrown anything major at the Earth, and they haven't been X-class events except for 1 impulsive flare. While we absolutely do expect this to continue today, the good news is that the big sunspots are either departing to the right or still incoming from the left, much less in the Earth-facing
check in later.
geographic longitudes, at least until this weekend when they turn in. First up in the articles, this is what they think the Roman Space Telescope is going to be able to see. The wildly contorted and energetic early universe when star formation first went crazy in the cosmos. If true, this is going to be very exciting to see. Excellent confirmation here on the pre-earthquake electromagnetic signals in the atmosphere. We've seen these cover a wide range of phenomena, but none more so than the total electron content of the atmosphere. That's what we've got once again here. Atmospheric electricity snitching on the quake to come. Last but not least, this is the 4th or 5th paper in the last year saying that these critical ocean circulations are about to collapse, and there is no avoiding it. This is one of the major Earth change signals in the ongoing disaster cycle. We'll have a few more details on that for you later today. We greatly appreciate your support.
All right. Did you hear that one?
Yeah. You hear that one?
Yep, I heard it.
Did everybody hear that? Okay, so what's happening is that's basically we're hitting, that what's going on. So how do we deal with this physically, mentally, socially, now that we know what's kind of happening, right?
Right.
So this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. So you and I are showing people how it's done. So we just show up and,
You just got to show up, take leadership. You gotta start speaking your mind. That's what you're doing. Like all of your social media, we're updating it every couple hours, and we're getting.
I want you to go back. Everybody invite you to go back to Lance Charles. So we'll set up a new TikTok page for Emerald Tablets, starting with the intro. And you start from the beginning and you work your way through it. And then you have to listen about 100 times before you start getting the real meaning of the program. what happens in this case is when you start doing that, you start to think that, like, this is the trick of how to become a philosopher like the one you want to go to. So if you like, for instance, Mark Twain, then just read a lot of Mark Twain over and over and over. In my case, I listen, I can listen over and over again, and I can get the gist of it. Kind of like, how would Mark Twain address this issue? How would Thoth address this issue? How would, who else? Emerson. I spend a lot of time with Emerson. I like Lincoln. I think Lincoln, worked through decisions, as far as we can tell, from the outside. It looks like that. But so anyway, put up, again, here we are. Did you want to stay and see what happens live?
Let's see what happens.
Because it's pretty dead. I'm going to have to turn you around. Let's go ahead and
All right,
take
let's see. Let's just take a look. Let's join the virtual people.
I mean, it's really, this is typical. Oh, yeah. Boom. Hey, green screen guys.
Green
Let's go around. Turn this thing
screen.
around.
He wasn't really on a spaceship. He wasn't really.
I wasn't really on a spaceship. Believe that shit? Like,
Just
I like it when
Earth.
Gary showed up. There we are.
Gorgeous. It looks beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
It's been a lot of work. Get it cleaned up. We're ready for First Friday. People show up at the last minute. Steve's going to be here at 6. He's not even here yet.
Steve.
So, and then the guy that owns the couch was pissed. He's only been here for a year, but he didn't want anybody sitting in it, evidently.
All right.
You believe that shit? He's like, he didn't want anybody to sit there.
Oh, man.
Back over there. I'm going to move my drums out. What I'm going to do is just move my drums in. What? It's something happened before I get the play. Not so. Here you are. Oh,
This is the lens Charles to keep your third.
I didn't do it.
In the 8th,
I have a film I'm going to play.
you're the 8th and the 9th,
I have a film I'm going to play with.
because the 7th and 9th.
7, 8, 9. Right. I'll get out of the way so that Steve can get this thing going. Steve, I live here.
It's fun, you think you maybe played outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play with lights a little bit. Like, learning some stuff.
Yeah, like, you want to get him on? You have him on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you know,
Yeah.
when
Can you do it now? That's going to be my show. Can you start that up? That'd be great. You do that, and I can talk with Renee. And you can talk, show people around the country what you're doing with lights. Cool. Great.
it's pretty cool how like it's like
Nice.
well, I mean,
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna put some music on. We're gonna get. This is gonna.
All right. You're still live, by the way. Just
I
reminding
see
you.
that. I
we're
hope people are they hanging out? Does anybody care? Is this fun?
People
Art-
just keep going, and remember to
Gallery,
greet
Art City.
yeah,
Because
because people are going to be watching this in the future too. After we wrap, they're going to keep watching.
Oh, right here.
oh, really fun. Like a little while, like songs and then
Good. See what you got. That's great because that's what I want to do. I want to take a look.
once you get there playing, it'll look like
There's no you guys. I'm not playing. So when you have the first Friday, then you got to see when people walk in. I want them to see the light. Yeah, that's the fun.
it's cool, bro. Like
That's the fun right there.
at one point, dude.
Yeah.
I got the strobe,
Yeah.
and I was able to get it on point without like the guy. I forget the name of the
Frank?
person.
Frank?
This dude, right here.
That guy's amazing.
Me, yeah. Yeah, I can tell you, dude. It's like at one point, I was like, I tested that with the strobe.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, lighting's
He's
fun.
like, whoa, that's
I
pretty
know, that's fun. It's nothing to it. I got a secret here. Put that behind there. I got a secret. No secret.
You know what the secret is? You know what the secret is, bro? You know what the secret is?
Secret, no secret.
It's have fun.
Have fun. That's right.
Anything that you try, just go full on and have fun. And that's the secret. If you're having fun, then everyone's having fun. And that's the
That's
secret.
right. See, that's a secret now.
Just to have fun. Enjoy it. You know, like,
Hey, can I get you a sweep?
anything else?
The broom, let's go real quick.
The broom is
Gentlemen. I can sweep it too. You want to watch me sweeping? Probably should.
Sure, let's do it.
People like sweeping. Like it's
Wax on, wax off.
wax on, wax off. We continue to change these changes, micro on.
It's like nothing on the couch.
Nobody on the couch.
Yeah, if I was sleeping on my couch all night, oh, this is fucking came in like freaking out.
Wow.
I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm like,
Oh, see, it's dim.
I was like, yeah.
Well, of course, you guys can't see it over there because you're looking over here. You kind of crazy guy, am I? Wow, that was so cool.
And if that's
See?
it,
See, like people dig it, man. Watching you sweeping is gonna be like the trippy fucking thing.
dude, the
Look
best
at
thing
that.
you can do for this one, like make it portable, so you can, you know, say when you
It's
when
portable.
you having
It already is.
like when you having like concerts and whatnot, because they don't have that. They don't have that.
I know, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring. I used to do this for a living, dude. I know.
You should do lights and stuff.
Yeah. Why do it now?
This is cool, bro.
This is fucking cool.
This is easy on your right hand.
If you want to move this around, you get $2,500. Move this thing around.
No, I'm saying it's like no. The idea is there, but it needs to be
portable.
That's what it's for.
It is portable. Take it apart, put it in the back of the truck, build it, unbuild it, put it back in the truck, put it back in the truck, dude. Portable. What do you mean? You want a wheel on it?
You gotta redesign. You gotta reshape it though.
Yeah.
Well, I would.
Hey, early.
Hey, showing up.
You're late. You're late.
You're late. You're supposed to be here at 5:30.
Wait, I got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, well, that's it. Mr. Show, all over, we're done. That's cool. So it's a light show. That's the art show. That's the art show.
Welcome to Art City, USA.
That's right. Somebody had to say it.
Dustin on the chair.
We got to put this wood down for a ramp here in case somebody shows up for me. I was going to do white light back here, okay? Where you at? This is the kind of the entry. That's all it is. Nah, green screen. And I got Renee. She's live. We're live and watching you guys set up.
I'm here watching the sweeping, watching the setting.
Yeah, watch Steve. He's like, oh, you know. Yeah, that's what he does. Comes wheeling in. Next thing you know, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. Don't leave before the miracle.
Like, look at the bottom. Look at the floor. Look at the floor.
Are you gonna put your thing up there?
No, no. I don't have the cable for it.
Oh,
Yeah. No, we're just gonna shine back there.
we're shining on this.
Well, we can put it on that.
Get it on the table.
Well, it'll go on this, it can go on one of these smaller tables
Okay.
wherever they are. Yeah, it'll work. And we'll just move this up aside, shine by the thick. Where is the head? Oh, there's the head.
So just backstage over here.
Oh, very fancy. Nice. Good shit.
Foreman anything?
What's that?
Anything?
No, I'm just a peasant. All right. I'll just be rambling about whatever. Yeah. Okay, so you want to just go first, and then we can just do set up the film and get it going, and then we'll towards the end it is. So
I have to do one thing too.
Okay.
You said it last and I've already run through it. So you really don't need to do anything. I'd like to see the difference between that. If I could get that thing out.
What is this thing?
Yeah, let's just do a test run on your thing real quick. If it works good, yeah, you can do it. At first, last, second, whatever you like.
Okay.
Whatever's good for you is good for me.
It doesn't take that long to put it out there. Get going. Okay.
Oh, yeah, now I got TV here.
Yeah, so we'll just check this out. Very nice.
It's the only one I ever paid.
All right.
This one is the one on the side. This one's special. This one has, it's called crane heads. Literally, like I have, back in the safe, but. Right here.
Oh, yeah, good, huh?
So this right here,
Uh,
heads.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving here. Ain't got time to play. What am I gonna say? Get another line down here. And, yeah, here's another box.
That tallest box for the box.
That's it, really. Okay, yeah, up it goes and over it goes. Yeah, right up on this guy. Different side. And make it accessible.
Yeah.
Right here, ready to put my phone. Yeah. And then we're gonna have to put it in the PA somehow.
Okay.
I have a cable.
Yeah.
On me.
Okay. You got the HDMI. Oh, that looks good out here, though. See, it's like, you know, if you're sitting, I hope you're hanging out with us because that looks pretty good. I want to turn it down. Yeah, my thing is slow.
And, I talked to my phone service and they said now I have unlimited.
Oh,
Tell me, we'll see if actually.
oh, you want to call? You want to get?
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
It goes to a certain amount and then after that, like it's going down.
Yeah.
So, you want to call Renee?
Yeah. Oh, I have.
Okay, she might have your phone number. Hey, can you send Steve the link?
Yep, sure will. I'll do it
Get
right
his
now.
phone, so then you get his point of view. Heck yeah, baby. I
Yeah.
love you. Smoking hot.
Love you. It'll be there in 1 minute. Tell him to look in 1 minute.
No, it looks pretty good. I mean, just as a piece, right? The whole thing. Freaking cool. Welcome to the backstage of the underground.
Backstage of the underground. Okay, and then, you have power there. Here is the plug. This plug right here? You know, I have a power cable that will come out of here. I have more. I just look for one that's here, but it's not necessary because I have moss. Okay, and power to the people.
Over here and watch this.
Okay.
Already.
I think, sir. This goes here. And then. Couple of microphones.
You still have your keys?
What's that?
Still have keys?
No, I'm not playing tonight. I'm just kind of hosting. I'll be rambling on people. Rambling. What I do. And, mostly music tonight. No keys. Get the PA here these days.
It's beautiful.
This is mine. Actually. Mackie with a couple Mackie power speakers.
It's nice.
Yeah,
What many channels is it?
6. We've 12. No, 6. Oh, well, yeah. If you apply the fees, yes, 6 main. Okay. And okay, and we might here. The microphone to here. And then where is the mic? Go. Okay. Okay, what is this gonna do? This is gonna go like, if you plug that into that, it's gonna do that. Invest in smaller cables, because these are awful big. Used to run bigger stuff. there. Then, and then,
You're just gonna twist.
yeah, and then what else, we need to, project 4.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, if you can get it going, and I could be first. Okay. First, second, third, fifth, what is it like?
Okay, well, we can put it on the last, so we can.
But I have a film, I want policies, I'm gonna make sure policies.
Oh, he left. He's coming back.
He's coming back.
He went home.
I don't read his mind either.
Okay,
I got this 16 minutes. I got
Over here.
I'm gonna get power over here. I'm not sure how I'm doing that yet, but something's gonna happen real quick.
I have one. I have in my truck. I have one.
Okay, well, bring it on by, buddy. Number 2. Here. Okay. Now. What do we have to say? Okay. See. Again, what do you say? Hello. Deal here. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Come on. Okay, this is here. Yes. Okay. Hello, hello. This. That. One. There we go. There we go. Oh. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Okay, next. We power up here. I mean, 5 minutes is that what's supposed to be? Nah, it doesn't matter. We usually at 5, but 5, but 5. But now it's 5 people. I'm like, wow. Cool. So then they make another one. I got another one. I think, yeah, 6. Okay. So, I'm ready. One fancy guy you got, mister. One fancy guy. Okay.
Well, what do you want? Just a gallon of
Yeah,
water?
a couple gallons of water, like a couple of, you get 2 gallons for $3 or $5.
And you want like a tea?
And then, that'd be great, you know, whatever it's like, yeah, iced tea, lemonade. Green hat, you know, green teas.
We'll leave it for you.
Next time.
Oh, yeah.
You're in there. Okay, then you've been here earlier. But
It's over my
You can do
house.
it, bro. It goes in the kitchen.
Oh, this is my.
No, not.
Oh, we need something to get into there.
Yeah, you need to have.
No, we don't have.
Yes, you do. HDMI,
We have an audio off, funky one.
audio. That's,
Yeah, no, we need a real,
well, good try. Let's do that.
it's not even half.
You gotta go. So, what do you mean? What speaker am I gonna use?
Don't you have it on a computer?
This is my computer.
Yeah, but we'll have another
The
computer.
HDMI goes into here, man. Let's put it in here. It's fine.
Okay.
Have my other computer over there. I'm on you. Shit, it's located. So easy. Still gonna have to do everything else. It's
Okay.
there. It's going to my there.
Okay, okay.
So these are the two outs for the speaker.
No. The only out we have is this audio out. I don't have.
How else does it work? Does it go, how do you get it from my computer from that?
With a 8-inch jack.
So that's, you got there.
So that's not a big.
HDMI.
Yeah.
That's there. I have my own speakers. Let's do, this is just for me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just turn it on and see.
Well, let's see if there's any. Let's see if this.
Never does.
What's that?
What? Why don't we have that thing?
Well, they can get closer.
Let's see. We can do it.
See if this is going on. Audio, so maybe this will just go into our front.
I think the HDMI is going to split off. Back into there, good. Yeah, so maybe that.
Yeah,
So what are we going to stick people like? You want to get them up on here, maybe?
What's that? People?
Because now Frankie's all having a fit about people sitting on this couch.
Frankie, who?
Frank's the guy who's got his couch. To you.
Oh, well, we'll just use chairs. You mean Frank, the welder Frank?
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn that on.
it is on.
No control.
No. Yeah, I'll do, there it is. Okay, let's see if this is gonna be audio out.
Because I don't think so.
Okay, so let's,
There's a-
okay, let's see if it's.
Exactly.
Okay, go.
That's really good. Fuck yeah.
Okay. In my way, just a second. Contacts.
There it is.
Yeah, okay. And then,
Great. Look at that.
Yeah, if I turn the lights on. Okay, there we are. Yeah, I always thought that was a maybe better.
Hey. Oh, sorry. Everybody out. Didn't mean to leave you guys. We're just working on this technical issue. Looked like we worked it out.
Yay!
We'll put you guys in the front row here on the couch that nobody wants to sit on. There you go. This is my little film I did about cars and stuff.
Okay, what else do we need now?
But I'll tell you what's happening. Only one side of the stereo. It's really cool. Oh. Hello, come on in.
Beautiful. Yeah. Go ahead and relax a second and no, it's just not. it's not coming out for some reason.
It's okay. It's a good reaction.
You know what?
I want to play drums.
I think the vocals are coming out, they're just too low.
You're not supposed to be. There's another channel. You're on the left side. That's all right.
That's all right. Okay, we got something going.
We got the great thing going. I said that. Okay. Okay. So we got that. You don't have to do anything. Now there's a turn off and a warm down, right?
Yes.
Let's do that. Make sure you turn it off and it warms down, right?
Okay, so we just hit it. And then
Well, it has
just beeping.
Okay. Just let it go for now.
It just, you need to let it.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay.
So hey, we are back in. Let's go hang out with me. I'm sitting right next to you guys. I'll be right here. There's always a seat next to me, or behind the drums, or something. Yeah, we're just gonna wait for the show now, right? Because it's like this is what we do. What is it? 7:24. The show starts about 8. You see, there's other crawl. There's like a crawl up and down different parts of arts. It's a very art-centric town. Even though I've been kind of curmudgeon here. Let's take a look at each other so we're already together. We're on a virtual date. How's that? All you all. Sorry. Not very impressive. I'm watching Steve get things done. That's like watching paint dry. I sent the young lad out so to get some water and stuff. We can get some coffee going here. Oh no. Well, you gotta get dirty if you want to make any money. I'm not quite sure if that's a true statement, but getting dirty is part of it. It's more fun. So what's going on, Renee? What do you do tonight otherwise, besides hanging out with me?
Man, I'm doing First Friday. I'm right here. Do you want us to end this stream and start a new stream?
Yeah, I think we do. And then Steve said that he worked it out with his, he's got the light over there and everything. He worked it out with his phone company so he can now join the fun.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, why don't we wrap this one and I'll send a new one to you and a new one to Steve. You want to do
Good.
that?
And then cut the last, hour off here when we weren't talking. And then, literally don't.
But I like the broom. I like the sweeping. I think that should be like a TikTok.
No, exactly. Now you can do something with that for sure on its own.
That
and
was
stick it
fun.
in a
That was
comic,
really fun.
in a comic relief or some kind of, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fun shit. No